Hey, what's up, 180 Fit? Okay, so let's dive into some stuff about sugar. What do you say? So, sugar, enemy? It's no secret that, you know, governments, I think even societies all over the world are trying to crack down on sugar and realize that there's sugary drinks and snacks, and we're even banning them from schools now, right? And so, more treatment programs are becoming open to people who believe they're even addicted to sugar, right? Even the course I've made is all about sugar, right? Perhaps that's why you're watching this, because it's part of my course. But what is the truth? Is sugar really an enemy? And let's talk about the different types of sugar, because I think this is important. I think sometimes we can get confused. And, cocoa leaves were used for centuries, and their natural state to chew on or to make tea. And so this was a normal and there were no issues. But when they are highly processed and turn into a dangerous and addictive drug known as cocaine, right? The innocent poppy flower suffered the same fate. Formerly a safe and effective tea, often used as relaxation for pain, it got super processed and became powerful, dangerous, addictive, opiate. Sugar first starts as a sugar cane, okay? A healthy stalking plant. Used in its natural form, you can't consume and you can't consume enough to actually make you sick, but super concentrated and processed, it becomes like a drug. In fact, with rablats, sugar actually outperformed cocaine as a drug of choice. And so it's important to know that there are various types of sugars, and some natural and some very processed, to the point even they started natural and now they're no longer natural. And we need to look at really where the concern comes from. So fructose. Don't get confused by the word. White fructose is derived from fruit. It's gone through the processing that makes it highly concentrated form of sugar. This type of fructose should be really called industrial fructose. Eating fructose from natural fruit is not unsafe and should not be avoided. Yes, within, like everything else, we want to make sure that we are eating things within moderation. But once processed, okay, it becomes something else entirely and causes a lot of health problems. So glucose, this sugar is that's in your blood. So you get it from a natural plant, foods such as carbohydrates, fruits, and vegetables, especially starchy ones. It's one of the most important medications and readily available in nature. It supplies almost all the energy for your brain. It's important for for your metabolism, for the health of it, respiration, and more. So if you want to be able to think clearly, you have to have the right amount of glucose. So we're not saying that you shouldn't no sugar at all. Lactose. Okay, so this is found in milk, and you might hear of people who are lactose intolerant, right? It's made from galactose, which is glucose. Okay, industrially, it's processed by a product of the dairy industry. Most humans produce lactase to help digest this type of sugar fat in adulthood. But some people, especially from Eastern and Southern Asia and some parts of Africa, cannot properly digest this type of sugar in adulthood. And maybe even you might be one like I know my mom is, I know I am, so I'm lactose intolerant. So let's talk about maltose. So this sugar is found in germination process of the seeds break down in their starch stores for food, sprout, and grow. This type of sugar can cause many intolerances as well as weight gain, kidney stones, and more. However, eating it in its natural form, as in sweet potatoes, soybeans, barley, and wheat, other than those who suffer from, celiac, it's healthy for us. So that's not a bad one. Sucrose. So this type of sugar comes from cane and beets. Modern processing can make it look just like table sugar. Before it's been processed, it has a lot of health benefits like vitamins and minerals. Honey is mostly fructose and glucose, so with a trace amount of sucrose. Okay, so it falls into this category. As you see, most sugars, like most things, are going to start in a natural state and a natural form, and aren't bad in their natural. It's super processing that's bad for us because it makes natural sugars highly addictive, like drug-like substances. So 13 reasons why sugar is bad for us. Let's look at the many reasons sugar is thought to be bad for you. Some people say it's one of the worst things you can introduce into your system, even above fat, because we know we need to have fat, right, in our system. So Number one, your immune system. If you consume too much processed sugar, you can reduce your ability to kill germs inside your body. It doesn't take much either. Just 2 sodas can stop the ability to fight the flu bug and lead to falling ill. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't get vaccines, of course, if you don't eat sugar. But when it comes to health, including dental health, right, avoiding sugar can boost your immunity exponentially. 2, mineral balance. If you have trouble sleeping at night, are constipated, or having other problems, you could have trouble with your mineral balance. If you eat a lot of sugar, you are likely depleting your magnesium stores to process it all. Plus, you lose chromium through your urine if you eat a lot of sugar. So there's a lot of mineral things that can happen there. And of course, minerals we need to have within our bodies. And if you need more information on that, make sure you check out my 180 Rebel nutrition videos. Number 3, behavior problems. Every parent on the planet will tell you that sugar and lack of sugar can affect a child's behavior. Every teacher, right? If a child is hungry and if their blood sugar is low, they'll be sleepy and grumpy. If a child has too much sugar, they will become agitated, animated. The key to better behavior is blood sugar balance. And this is especially true of kids at school. Like, if you think about it, some kids be like, man, they're off today. Could be a sugar issue, okay? We want to say that all these things are behavior problems, but sometimes it's simply a basis of nutrition. You can't focus at work. Maybe it's your nutrition. And so next, empty calories. Okay, we only get so many calories, right, a day for energy. So why would we want to spend it on empty calories? I don't know about you, but I want to spend it on things that are going to give me more energy, make me feel more alive. The fact is, processed sugar has no health benefits. None. Zero. Zip. Boop. Therefore, when you eat sugary meals, you're eating empty calories that will cause weight gain. The fact is that sugar is often combined with fat and salt, which will make it even worse. It's better to avoid sugar when you can, or processed sugar. Number 5, elevated insulin responses. When your insulin response is healthy, your cells will release the right amount of insulin. But if you regularly consume sugar, especially in overdose amounts, your body will become confused about when to release this insulin and when not to, damaging cells and tissues. The tissue in your eyes, kidney, nerves, and more seem to carry sugar a lot longer than other organs. This means that the body can suffer from that sugar remaining because it's damaging to our blood vessels. 7, causes high blood triglyceride levels. And so there are no symptoms for high blood triglyceride levels. And so the only way to know if you have it is by getting a blood test. It's usually upon an overall cholesterol test. Contributes, number 8, hyperactivity, okay? If you're already like me, ADHD, like this is the last thing we need, right? There are studies that show both results. So sugar can cause hyperactivity and sugar doesn't cause it. You just, just remember that any drug can affect one human one way and another human another way. But parents often report much problems with hyperactivity in the child consuming too much sugar. And that's something we just can't ignore. Number 9, anxiety. If you struggle with anxiety, like, sugar is one of the worst things you can be eating right now. I'm starting, I tend to have high anxiety. And so, my diet's really important to me because it totally affects. Refined sugars enter the bloodstream really quickly and leave the bloodstream quickly. This process can manifest more anxiety overall. Even though often people who are addicted to sugar eat to suppress anxiety, it just is making the problem worse. Especially to avoid sugars in the first place, just like people with drugs, right? Why do people use drugs? They use drugs to get a relief, but really they're just making it even worse in the long run. 10, poor concentration. So again, the reason sugar may affect concentration is because the speed by which processed sugar can invade blood cells and leave them. You need to balance the level of glucose to feed your brain. No short burst of sugar, such as in the form of soft drinks or cereal. And actually, sugar feeds some cancers, and there's some really good research out about this. The fact is, cancer cells love sugar. So if you're someone who is cancer runs in your family, you're someone who's fighting cancer, sugar is one of the worst things you have right now. And that's because, most living things, they need sugar to grow, right? But not all sugars are created equally. Remember that cancer cells love white sugar, white flour, high fructose corn syrup. The good thing is that if you simply reduce your consumption of processed sugar, you can cut your cancer risks. Hypoglycemia. So the low blood sugar happens in people who have a condition called hypoglycemia. So this condition on its own, right, is on its own condition, but it can also happen with people who have diabetes and take medicines for insulin because their bodies don't produce enough of their own. 13, poor digestion. Sugar is very acidic. The more alkaline you make your body, the healthier you become. So if you have an acidic stomach, you suffer from heartburn, and other just digestive problems in general. So each person is affected differently. I think it's important to say. It's best to look at your own symptoms and health issues. And if you have any of these problems, try eliminating processed sugar first to see if you notice any changes in your health. And so, real quick before we go on, because I want to talk about the surprising places sugar actually hides and some other really key factors with sugar. My name is Jen Pelican. If you haven't met me before, I'm your holistic empowerment coach. I simply take people from the place of stuck. You can't find the solution. You've tried every diet fad. You may probably work with emotionally binge eaters a lot because you just can't figure this out because people are lying to you. And what it took for me to find sustainable, lasting, doable, practical, being fit as a lifestyle and not as a fad or an empty promise program. So I do my own 180. There's where 180 comes from, my 180 Fit Body Mind method. And find this journey to live authentically me, like authentically fully alive. So taking them from, the place stuck to authentic thriving in life. And it's really through the micro habits in our lives, the small things we do daily, that lead to lasting success and change. And so my whole program is all about fit as a lifestyle. My 20 plus years in the health industry with personal training, group fitness, nutrition, and transformational coaching and life coaching, along with 16 years as an educator. I bring you a complete solution. So make sure if you have not subscribe, follow if you're on my channel. And for this, someone else but let's keep going because I have some really good stuff for you today. The surprising places sugar hides. The hidden sugar in our diet is hard to find. So you would be amazed at the things that have added sugar, and there's this sugar inside. Breakfast cereal. You could have guessed this one, but we're not talking about this sugary, cereal. Healthy. 23 grams per serving. Check the nutrition label. So important we read these nutrition labels. They're there. Do it. Asian food. Most restaurant made or packaged Asian food has an enormous amount of sugar in it, even sushi. The way you make sushi rice includes adding sugar to it. You can make your own Asian food to ensure that the sugar level is not too high, or just don't get the sauce and stuff on things. Canned and packaged soups and sauces. Thankfully, all you have to do is check the labels. Some yogurts get more than 15 grams of sugar. Some yogurts have more than 15 grams of sugar. This is a problem because how many times do we give kids yogurt and then we wonder why they're struggling in the afternoon at school? Even spaghetti sauce and gravy can have more sugar than a can of soda. So if you want to be sure to eat less sugar, read labels. Find no sugar options. And you don't want sweetened with the other stuff. Just no sugar. Frozen yogurt. Just because the word yogurt doesn't mean it's healthy, okay? It is just as sugary as real ice cream. It's a dessert. Treat it as a dessert. You hear me? Yogurt. Frozen yogurt. Treat it as a dessert. Don't use it for a meal. Don't believe you're eating healthier. If you prefer real ice cream for a snack, you're now free to eat it instead, as one is not better than the other when it comes to sugar, okay? And remember, keep your servings. Smoothies. Make your own smoothies, you guys. They're all the rage, and there are many smoothie shops that they're banking on it. But the smoothie shops use fruit with added sugar. If you look at, when you're Smoothie King, their strawberries and stuff are in juice, okay? They're in sugar. So I never, get that kind of stuff because there's no way I'm going to put that stuff into my body. Find a place or make your own. I just make my own. If you make your own, watch when recipes ask for dried fruit. Yeah. Watch when recipes even ask for dried fruit. Using whole fresh fruit is so much better. Okay, bread. While there's some bread that's good for you, most bread is made of highly refined flour and sugar. Both of these affect blood sugar. Even wheat bread may be high in sugar. So you need to read the labels. bread that is usually low in sugar is rye or spelt, but you can make your own to avoid additives and sugar that can harm your health. Condiments. So we all like to dip things and stuff, right? But if you dip your fresh apples or celeries in the wrong thing, you may be making matters worse. Instead, make your own condiments. Read the labels. Today, there are many low-sugar varieties of condiments, including low-sugar ketchup. Canned beans. Check the labels on canned beans, especially ones with any type of sauce on it, like chili beans, baked beans. These are high in sugar. And if you compare it to cake, you wouldn't know which one was which by the amount of sugar. Can of beans and cake, you guys. I said it. Muffins. Probably realize that some muffins are high in sugar. But for this, ones that sound healthy are just cake and a muffin. Formed with healthy flour, a healthy name added, okay? A lot of times, these people know, like, think about it. They know that we're going to look for healthy stuff, so they're going to put in the name. They're all high in sugar. There are some recipes for low sugar muffins. They'll search the net, find the ones, do it. I'll try and make a couple of videos on some really healthy ways you can make some muffins. Once again, just regular yogurt, just like frozen yogurt, high sugar. So most sweetened yogurt include low-fat yogurt. The best way to combat this problem is to make your own yogurt. Eat yogurt as a dessert. Buy plain non-fat. I guess. Buy plain non-fat yogurt. Add your own fruit. If you need to put some stevia in there if you really need. But I say honey. Like, I always use honey, natural honey. Especially if you use like zip code honey and stuff. For allergies, it's a great thing to do. And good thing about yours is probiotics. So you do, like, it's great for the gut. The lesson is that anything pre-made, packaged, is in danger of having too much sugar, period. Read the labels. Judge for yourself. And keep in mind the average adult should consume no more than 90 grams or 5% of their total calories in added sugar. So then how much sugar is too much? Glad you asked. One thing that needs to be clear is there's a difference from naturally occurring sugar and added sugar. There's sugar in all plant food. All plant food is good for you. In fact, most of the plant should be, should make up plant food if you want to be optimal health, like most of our diets, So it breaks down that adults should not consume more than 90 grams of total in their sugars. So how much of that constitutes added sugar depends upon your daily caloric intake. So that means if you eat 1,500 calories each day, you can eat 90 grams of sugar each day. How much of that you want to be processed and added sugar is up to you, but obviously keeping the amount of added sugars lower is better for your health. So this gives you some room to experiment, and have a little fun on birthdays and things. So I'm not saying, like, don't ever have a Coke. I'm saying don't ever have cake. Don't ever have ice cream. I'm saying do it, like, know you're doing it, though, and know that that's a treat as such, not something you keep in the house. When you consider that a cup of grapes, okay, so a cup of grapes, think of a cup, has 15 grams of sugar. A can of Coke has 39 grams. Grapes, 15, Coke, 39. Okay, and if you really want a drink, you can buy, the LaCroix is a great thing to do, if you want something that's bubbly and stuff. But really, a tall glass of filtered water with a cup of grapes will fill you up longer. Always drink. I say before you eat, drink a whole glass of water because a lot of times we're dehydrated. The main thing is to find substitutes that you actually enjoy while not overshooting the 90 grams. So find stuff you like. Try different fruits. The more natural sugars you consume within 90 grams, the healthier you feel. So there are many low glycemic choices you can make. So I'm going to go through options for you here. So ready? 1 small apple has 15 grams sugar. 1 cup of apricots, 15 grams. 1 medium banana, 14 grams. 1 cup blackberries, 7 grams. Blueberries, 1 cup whole blueberries, 15 grams. 1 cup diced cantaloupe, 12 grams. 1 cup whole cranberries, 4 grams. 1 cup grapefruit, 16 grams. 1 cup guavas, 15 grams. 1 cup honeydew, 1 cup diced honeydew, 14 grams. 1 wedge of a lemon, 0.2. Limes, 1 wedge of a lime, 0.15. Papaya, 1 cup cubed. 1 cup, 1 inch cubed, 11 grams. Peaches, 1 cup sliced, 13 grams. 1 cup whole raspberries, 5 grams. 1 cup diced rhubarb, 1.3 grams. 1 cup whole strawberries, 7 grams. 1 large whole tomato, 4.8 grams. 1 cup diced watermelon, 9 grams. Vegetables. 1 large artichoke is 1.6 grams. 1 cup asparagus is 2.5 grams. 1 cup chopped broccoli is 1.5 grams. 1 medium carrot is 2.9 grams. 1 cup chopped celery, 1.8 grams. 1 cup corn, 1.1 gram. 1 8-inch cucumber, 5 grams. 1 cup baked green beans, 3.3 grams. 1 cup chopped kale, 1.6 grams. 1 head of lettuce, 2.8 grams. 1 cup soybean sprouts, 0.1 gram. 1 cup spinach. Yay for spinach, is superfood. I love spinach. 0.1 gram. 1 cup sliced summer squash, 2.5 grams. 1 cup Swiss chard, 0.4 grams. So as you can see, most natural foods don't really have too much sugar. If you can eat 90 grams of sugar a day, you can choose wisely from the lower sugar fruits and vegetables, right? And you'll be surprised at how much you can actually eat and avoid the sugars. When you consider that 1 teaspoon of sugar, processed sugar is 4.2 grams, you can really decide what to eat in every given situation. So how do you know if you're addicted to sugar? How do you know that? As you listen to this, do you start thinking about the ways you can get around 90 grams of maximum sugar that you have? Can you consume per day, and nothing to do with how many, like carbohydrates you eat, that's a separate number we need to be tracking, okay? Carbohydrates are not bad, you need to have them. So here's some common behavior patterns to predict if you have a sugar addiction. You eat too much. If there's some foods that you just can't stop eating, assume that they're highly likely to be high in sugar. Sugar doesn't really make you feel satisfied. It's hard to stop. This is made worse if sugar is combined with sodium and fat. For example, you may be eating donuts, which are high in salt and fat, but would you really eat them without the sugar? Doubtful. You crave processed carbs, not complex, processed. If you're finding yourself craving those refined carbs like chips and crackers and bread, then you may have a problem with sugar. Often eliminating added sugars can also reduce cravings if you have high processed carb cravings as well. You crave salty foods. I know this seems so contradictory, but it's true. With processed foods, salt and sugar go well together. So if you you could take care of that salt issue as well as the sugar one at the same time, right? They're highly processed and they can have too much sugar. You crave meat. This might seem strange, but if you crave meat, you really don't need, and you really don't need it, and you really aren't even hungry, you may be craving the spices that are often on meat, such as wing sauce, which is very high in sugar. Every meal is high in sugar. If your typical meal is high in sugar, higher in sugar than it should be, keep in mind the maximum 90 grams, right? Doesn't mean you need to eat that much sugar. If you feel bad and aren't healthy, you can always cut that down. Like I don't get close to that in a day. Best way to avoid adding sugars and only eat sugars in natural plants, okay? You get moody without sugar. So if you find yourself, you're often grumpy and moody, the problem might be sugar. If you often, suffer from the dips and the rise in blood sugar, when you have a dip, you'll suffer from grumpy moods. And this can be even worse by eating sugary things like candy, which promote fast jump and quick fall. You feel powerless over sugar. Do you feel like you don't even want to eat that sugary snack, but you do it anyway because you feel better? This is kind of for people who work long days, students. It's true that eating a sugary snack will temporarily do that for you, give you that high, but you'll be far better off eating a fruit, right? With natural sugars and fiber, it helps slow down the sugar absorption. So fiber's going to help slow it down. That way it lasts longer. Do you start and end your day with sugar? Look at your entire day. What did you have first in the morning? What did you eat before bed? What's the first and last thing you ate? If you're eating sugar in the morning and night, especially added processed sugar and not sugar in whole plants, then it's a sign that you might be addicted to sugar. You suffer the 3 p.m. slump. If you work in an office, you notice that this is a lot more than if you are retired or work from home. But pay attention somewhere after lunch. If you start falling asleep while you're working, or you feel as if you need a nap, look at your diet. Are you giving yourself energy for lunch, or are you setting yourself up for a sugar crash? If you are going through any of these issues, it's wise to calculate how much sugar you are eating on any given day. Most people eat double the sugar maximum. That means 180 grams. Due to the added and processed things, track your meals. So tips for breaking a sugar habit. Thankfully, you don't need to work too hard to beat your sugar addiction. It's only hard to work if you shoot for 0 sugar, okay? But that's not sustainable. That's not healthy, right? Even my sugar detox program we make the shift and the change throughout, okay? So we do detox from sugar, right? We get out of our system, and then we make the changes those healthy ways. So shoot for reduction, unless you're joining my detox program, then cut back, more and more into solid food choices. So avoid processed food. If you need, no matter who you are, we all need to do these things. Avoid processed food. The biggest culprit is when the sugar is in processed food. Processed food has a ton of sugar. And if it doesn't, it has a ton of chemicals. So avoid processed food. If there's something you eat has more than 4 or 5 ingredients on the back of it, don't get it. Like, it has too many added things in there. If something that you can't pronounce, don't get it. It's not worth it. 2, get plenty of sunshine. It might seem weird, but for one reason people eat sugar is for serotonin, that feel-good hormone. And when you eat a lot of sugar, you get a spike of serotonin. And one, of course, then you get the crash. There are better ways to increase serotonin levels. One is sunshine. Of course, you also get that vitamin D, boost that mood. Next, get plenty of sleep. If you have trouble sleeping at night, then you need to figure out the root cause of why. Avoid sugars, caffeine, anything similar 2 to 3 hours before bed, that light, right? You should go to bed on an empty stomach for best sleep, or just a light snack. You don't want a full stomach. Drink enough water. Staying hydrated is so important to anything, especially with cravings and sugar cravings. When you're born, you have a perfect thirst detector, but life causes us to deny our body signals, and therefore measure your water. Ensure you're drinking minimum 64 ounces to 100 ounces of water a day. I have, carry a gallon of water, and make sure you drink the whole thing. Focus on feeling, satisfied, and focus on stability. So if you want to keep your sugar balanced, let me put it that way. One, this is do this regular meal times. For you, it might be 6 meals a day. For others, it'll end up being traditional 3 meals a day. Depends on what works best for you. You should eat when you feel hunger pains. After drinking a cup of water, drinking that glass of water, make sure it's really hunger pains. Eat your greens. For some reason, when you eat more greens like turnip greens, spinach, kale, and so forth, your sweet cravings go away. So instead of eating something sweet, go for steamed spinach, good red wine vinegar. Cravings will disappear. I love green stuff, so maybe that's why I've never really had that sweet tooth issue. Incorporate fermented foods and drinks. So not only are they good to keep in your stomach acid and bacterial balance, fermented foods and drinks are also great for sweet tooth killers. So you can buy prepared fermented foods or make your own. Keep in mind, a very small amount of sugar is used in fermentation, but that's okay. Next, meditate. So sometimes your cravings are just a sign that you need to slow down and care for yourself. Stress. That's where that stress comes in. You can 21daymind.gojen.net is my 21-day mindfulness course. So, stress can play just a huge issue. It, releases cortisol, which is the stress hormone, which we want sugar, right? We want those bad foods. Take time to meditate at least 10 minutes a day, or pray, or walk and pray. And my course will be in the show notes too. Link to that. Try that out. If you're someone who doesn't know how to meditate or be mindful, get your family involved and do it together. Because something I use with kids I taught is solved a lot of my problems with how all over the place I am all the time. So huge, and help me get grounded and focused and centered for the day. So incorporating these tips into your day can make a huge difference. If you're trying to end sugar cravings and break the sugar habit, remember, it's not going to happen overnight. Just focus on adding in good things in your life rather than on what you eliminate. So remember, the only way for us to really break a bad habit, right, is to replace that habit with a good one. As we're focused so much on what we can't do that it doesn't help us actually replace that bad habit. So how to fight sugar addiction withdrawal symptoms. When you first embark on eliminating sugar from your diet, you're going to experience some withdrawal symptoms. It just says it's like, caffeine, right, or drugs. You don't want to use a bunch of fake things to sub for the sugar, though. So try best to get over each symptom you have. So possible things you might encounter. I want to be open and honest with you. Depression. If you notice after giving a sugar you're feeling depressed, ensure that you're eating some natural sugars found in fruits and vegetables. You don't want to have 0 carbohydrates, okay? Carbohydrates make you feel good. Just eat them without the added sugar, oil, and fat. Headache. This is more caused from drinking caffeine, but you'll find if you get headaches, check your hydration. Normally headaches are source of hydration, but if you share your drinks, it's hard to drink plain water. Be imperative that you drink enough every day. Anxiety always manifests itself to different people. Some people get the fluttery feeling in their stomach, others experience shortness of breath and heart, It can be severe for some people, though. So if you find yourself experiencing a lot of anxiety, the best thing to do is go to your doctor for a blood test. And the reason why some illnesses like hypothyroid, which has nothing to do with sugar restriction, can cause anxiety. Others check with your hydration level, sleep level, and ensure you're eating enough calories for your ideal weight. Irritable mood. Are you feeling moody? When your blood sugar gets too low, you can feel moody. So this can be remedied by eating more often. Try balancing your meals with the right amount of protein, fat, and carbohydrates for your personal needs. Don't allow yourself to get too hungry. This is a surefire way to end up feeling moody. Keep healthy snacks around. Once again, clean out your pantry. One of the first things I make anyone do who does any kind of nutrition program with me is clean out their pantry, clean out their place. Don't keep unhealthy processed foods in your home. Just don't do it. Make it so you have to go out of your way to actually go get them, right? Because if I have to go out of my way to do it, it becomes a treat. It becomes something we can enjoy special. I really had to plan that out. No sugar added, like almond butter or peanut butter is great. Fatigue, still feeling that 3 p.m. slump, feel tired, foggy all the time. This is a sign you're not eating enough carbohydrates, okay? Remember, the veggies are good carbs, and you should eat plenty of them. It also means you need to drink more water. So if you keep getting that fatigue, it's a carbohydrate and water issue. Achy muscles are actually a possibility too. This is one of the first signs of dehydration, though. A lot of people drink sugary drinks for most of their hydration. Find it difficult drinking enough water. Drink at least 8 glasses of water a day. For snacks, eat hydrating foods like apple, carrots, oranges, and other fresh vegetables. Cravings. When you notice you're getting super strong sugar cravings, okay, it's going to happen. It's time you look at a list of things you do during cravings. You can, still eat something sweet, but instead of candy, go for a processed food, processed food. Pick something like a fresh bowl of berries or apples. Or I say, like, have a list of if I'm working with someone who's trying to overcome addictions, okay? They have their plan of attack. When their craving comes, they have things they're going to go do. I'm going to go walk the block. I'm going to go, check out my list of things I need to do and do the one that's on the top. I'm going to call a friend, like find other things to do, have some accountability. The symptoms of sugar are more difficult for some people than others, just to be honest. Be patient with yourself, and if you cave in and eat processed sugar, drink extra water, move on, and be prepared for a healthy snack next time, right? Remember, overcoming any addiction is not just a straight path. It's bumpy, you guys. We're going to stumble, okay? Don't expect perfection. And that's okay, because when we expect perfection, we are setting ourselves up for failure. So don't forget to try greens and vinegar. So recipe ideas to help keep who wants some recipes? Keep your sugar and cravings red. So one way to avoid eating too much sugar is be ready with prepared food. Okay? I would say prepare it. Like every week, prepare your food. Are you ready? Here are some awesome ones. Frozen fruit dessert. Not really much of a recipe idea. You can use your food processor, high-speed blender, or magic bullet. Like Yana frozen healthy dessert maker. And all you need to do is freeze the fruit you want to use, okay? Then feed it through and blend it in one of the blenders or the food processor. It's simple and tastes wonderful. So it'd be nice, cold, and it's good. Okay, and it's plenty sweet. Snacks. The best snacks you can have for a good balance of fat and protein. So these low snack ideas will help you so you don't miss the sugar. Apples and peanut butter. Skip the bread and just slice up an apple, then spread it with sugar-free peanut butter, almond butter. Prefer almond butter if you can do that one. And if you get peanut butter, the best peanut butter has one ingredient. What do you think it is? Peanuts. Okay? I go to Whole Foods. I'm not going to get the ones where I see it, like, coming out. The fiber in an apple makes the sugar digest slowly, and the fat and the protein with peanut butter keeps you feeling satisfied. Fiber-rich loaf. So everyone likes bread, but if you can pick up a pack that, it can pack on a huge sugar punch in a way if you choose the ones that are the white breads and those kind of things. But you can make your own fiber-rich bread that's low in sugar. So ready? This is all you need. So 1 cup whole salt-free raw pumpkin seeds, perfect for the fall. 1/2 cup hemp seeds, 1/2 cup raw peeled almonds, 1.5 cup rolled oats, 2 teaspoons chia seeds, 3 tablespoons husk powder, 1 teaspoon fine grained sea salt, 1 teaspoon honey, 3 tablespoons applesauce, 1.5 cup water, okay? I'll have this in the show notes as well, so you could go grab it. Combine all these ingredients, set aside, combine all the wet ingredients, and mix in a separate roll. Then pour the wet ingredients into the dry, mix until the dough forms. If you notice that it's too dry, you can add more water. You can prepare the bread pan, some oil, spread on it with, or, paper towel. You can line the pan with, parchment paper. Cover the pan and the dough in towel and let it sit in a warm place for at least 2 hours because we want it to rise, right? When the dough has risen enough, you'll know because it's the shape of, when you touch it with your finger. Bake at 350 degrees on the middle rack for about 30 to 40 minutes. Done. Bread that will sound hollow when thumped. Fermented vegetables, okay? Let's make this simple. You can chop a bunch of vegetables up, or you can go to the fresh section of your grocery store, buy pre-chopped veggies in a bag from the salad bar. It's up to you how you want to do it. But when you chop them smaller, anyway, right, pieces work best. In addition, you need some glass jars, sealable jars, or canning jars. Chop a mixture of vegetables you enjoy. Include at least a couple of apples or carrots to the sweet flavor, right? And add some ginger too. Ginger is awesome for you. If you have not checked out my ginger shot video, you need to do that. Check my Diet Rebel playlist. Sprinkle all with salt, okay? Just a little bit, sprinkle. Fill each jar with your mixture of vegetables tightly. Leave 1 inch space at the top. Smash the veggies into the jar. You want them very tight. Then, then into each filled jar, right? Put the following mixture into the jar until it's 1 inch below the top. So 4 cups, so you can make the brine, which is 4 cups water, 1 tablespoon sea salt. Mix until the salt is fully dissolved. Ensure the vegetables are always stays under the water of the jar, right? So if you need to cover the weight of the mixture down with a stone or a weight, right? Cover some, with cheesecloth or a rubber band. Keep it in a warm spot for 5 days. Check the mixture to ensure that you have everything stays underneath the brine, okay? You'll know which fermented veggies are done when your veggies start bubbling. This shows the ferment process completed. Your veggies should also smell a little sour, but you should like the smell. They also should taste good. After this happens, put the normal lids on the jars and back in the fridge. So what now? If you really want to rid yourself of sugar cravings, lose weight, and get healthier, a good way to do this is avoid added sugars. Most sugars found naturally in plants that you eat, so it's okay in that sense. Although you should try to limit super sweet fruit, like dried fruits and dates. Take 1 day at a time. Join my sugar-free detox sugar course. 21 days. You'll detox some sugar. I'll walk you through every step. It's the small little things we do. You just have a little task every day that's going to lead you up to getting rid of the sugar cravings, getting off the sugar, and incorporating healthy things with recipes and mindfulness and all that included. It's a great program. Get enough hydration, exercise, and sunshine, and in no time, you'll be able to kick this habit. But go sign up for my course. I'd love to have you in there for my, it's about a 4-week program with lots of cool stuff. Links in the show notes, and you go sign up, and I could see you on the inside then because you can be part of my group where I go live in every day. All right, tribe. I hope this helped. What are the questions you have about sugar? So if you're on my YouTube channel, what questions, or if it's by Facebook or somewhere, comment. What questions do you have about the sugar, about getting off sugar? What things are your struggles? What things can I answer for living a fit life, fit holistically, mind, body, heart, soul, spirit, right? Let me help you. I'm here to help you. I'm your girl. I want to answer your questions. So comment below. Let me know what's something you learned today and what's something you're going to incorporate. And are you signing up for the course? Or are you going to try to do this on your own? Or you're not ready there yet? Or you're someone who doesn't eat sugar? Let me know. I'd love to know. I'd love to hear from you. I love hearing from my community. I'll respond to each one personally within the week. So expect to hear back from me if you do. Till next time, tribe. Like, subscribe, follow. For someone that you know needs help with sugar. Be brave, be kind, live authentically, and always shine. And remember, just one habit away, tribe. Until next time.